what your old pal said. Yeah, you got a friend in me. I got him too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, and I am big and stronger too. Well,
Hey everybody, it's your girl Kimberly P. Welcome back to my channel KPsparks. And as you can see, we have a little stranger here today. What's your name?
I am no stranger to the KPsparks YouTube channel. I'm her #1 subscriber.
Do you have a name?
Oh, my name is Pauline. Hey guys.
Okay, so we have Pauline in our video today. We're going to talk about relationships, and it's going to vary from romantic relationships or just friendships. So we're going to talk about that, and I asked Pauline to be part of my video because I learned a lot about just like relationships in general from her. Don't get your advice. But I've learned a lot from her, and like it's been an honor being her friend. So I thought she would be the perfect person to be in my relationships video. So saying that, we're going to jump into some questions that you all asked on Instagram and Snapchat. I asked you guys what you want to see, and relationships was like, of course everybody wants to talk about relationships. So we're going to jump into the questions. So let's jump right in. And then we're going to act. Okay, so Pauline wants to
Pauline, it's my channel now. Just cut out the K. It's KPsparks now.
Okay, so how do we meet? Okay, so oh my god, I know why you included this. Okay, so basically, you remember Didi from the Where's Your Confidence video? She was in the diner with Pauline when we were in college. Oh my gosh, I can say that now.
Yeah.
When we were in college, and we were going to like a Christian event. It was called, what was it? It was a Proclaim. It was probably a Proclaim or Marvel's Encounter at Howard University. So we were going there, and we wanted to invite Didi, but Didi was avoiding us. It was me and Stephanie me and my sister Stephanie were trying to find Didi so we could take her. She was avoiding us, like, no, I don't want to hang out with these Christians. This was before she gave her life to Christ. So she was avoiding us, and then that's the first time I saw Pauline. She was in the diner with her, and I was just like, who's this girl? Like, I was really judgmental. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was really judgmental. I was like, who's this girl? And then fast forward later on, like, she was close to Didi, and then she ended up going to a conference, which is just like a big Christian event that we take a shuttle bus to North Carolina. So I saw Pauline on the bus, and I was just like, who is this? Like, you can see it in my face. I was like, who is this chick? Like, why is she even here? It was really bad. So that's how we met. We ended up living with each other, so.
Just ended up. She just wouldn't go away.
We ended up living with each other, so yeah.
Kimberly and I have more similarities than we do differences. I think the big thing.
Really?
I think the big thing about that Kim and I have the same is that relationships are really important to us. Kim has a lot of really good friends, and she is a great friend, even though she's the most annoying friend that I have. Kim and I both work really, really, really hard. And when I started living with her, just seeing how she grinded out to finish her computer science degree, really brought us closer. So I know that's two things that we have in common.
I think both of us like having fun. OMG. I mean, I always talk about this, but like, oh my gosh, like I just love, like during our study breaks in school, we used to like have dance breaks and dance to like NSYNC. It was so much fun because I love dancing, and she's just like
a really good dancer, yeah.
Okay. But she's like a natural born dancer, to be honest. I roll. But yeah, I'm actually tired of being out of focus.
You guys, if I'm out of focus in the video, you guys, I'm using a different lens, and like literally, I don't know what I'm at. Pauline, do you know?
We are taking a financial peace university. We're taking a financial peace university class right now, and one of the lessons we learned is like, there's two different types of people. One, there's a nerd, like they just go by the rules. It's just like, I gotta go by the rules. I'm on time for I don't like saying the on time thing, but I'm on time for everything. Like I'm just like, yeah, I'm strictly rules, and free spirit is the other type of person, and they're just like, yeah, whatever goes. So stating that I'm a free spirit and Pauline is a nerd, so like that is one thing that's really different about us. Like Pauline is a major planner. Like even for this video, you guys, Pauline sent me references for this video that I'll include in the description box below. She sent me references for the video. She has her notes on Evernote. Me, I just write down my notes in one journal. She just really like organized and just like, yeah, straight to the point, rule book. She's always on time. She's just always up early, always doing what she has to do. And I say I don't have my life together, but like I'm more like go with the flow. Like for this setup, even like it was, if you guys see what's behind the camera right now, or what's beside the camera, or what's about to fall on the camera right now, you'd be kind of scared for us. But that's just how I roll, trial and error. So that's kind of like how we're different.
One of the biggest fights that Kimberly and I had, I think it was junior year when we were living in London town. We were having a fight. I couldn't even remember. She had to remind me about what the fight was about.
Because I will never forget.
Praise God. We were having a fight about getting a ride to Connect group training at our church. And I will never forget this fight because I'm driving, I think it was your car, driving, and Kimberly got out the car and she slammed the door in my face. And I'm just sitting there chilling like, wow, this girl's really showing off right now. This is really not cute.
It wasn't though.
It wasn't cute at all. But anyway, in that story, in that example, Kimberly really showed how much I offended her. So what you have to know about offense is a choice. So to this person who asked the question, thank you for asking the question because it's really important. It's really important to address offense in relationships because it does come up often, and if you don't address it, it will just honestly get worse. So with that being said, it is your own choice to be offended by something that somebody says. So in that moment, in that example, Kimberly chose to kind of focus on what I had said that made her upset, or perhaps the way I said it, rather than focusing on the issue at hand. And so when you're going to talk to your friend about whatever it is that you're afraid is going to offend her, you cannot control if she's going to be offended or not.
Yeah.
That's her choice. And you have to just think about that going into it, saying like, hey, you know, this is an important issue that I want to talk to you about. And you have to tell her why. Just remind your friend why it's important to you. Just like if I was having an issue with Kimberly, which we often still do in a healthier way, I always remember like, I'm bringing this up because Kimberly is important to me, and I want our relationship to be healthy. I want us to be honest with each other, and you know, we just hit a speed bump or a road bump, whatever, and we're gonna deal with it. If I went around kind of trying to not hurt Kimberly's feelings all the time, we would never talk about anything.
Yeah.
What you said has to be rooted in the truth in order to help somebody. So be okay with her being mad at you for a couple of days if it means that you're making her a better person, and then you're also making your friendship stronger in the end.
Yeah. And just like to touch on the topic of offense, like it's just, I don't know, it's not healthy. And like I grew up like, bruh, I'm not the one to like take a while to call something out that I don't like. I call it out immediately and I get offended immediately. Well, I used to get offended immediately, and it was just something I had to learn. So maybe that's just something your friend has to learn. Like if you know that you're coming from a place where it's like you're explaining things and you're really saying it so you guys can push forward in your friendship, that's on that person's end if they get offended. Like, you know, offense is something that I had to grow out of, literally, and it took a while.
We all have to do it.
It took a while, so.
You guys know Kimberly just graduated from college this year, and I graduated from the same school in 2015. So big transition time for both of us. And just in your 20s, a lot of transition. People are moving after you graduate college, people are getting jobs, people's schedules change, moving out of the house, all these different things are happening. And as a result of that, your friendships are greatly impacted. That's probably one of the biggest things I heard about before I graduated. Like, your friends are going to change, your friends are going to change.
Yeah, it's really a test.
It is, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Because if you have friends that you like, or you have great friends, you know, you can get nervous. Or if you don't have great friends, it's an opportunity to get new friends. So with that being said, one thing that you have to understand, to whoever answered this question or asked the question, and to whoever else is in a similar situation, a lot of your friendships are for a season. And that's hard to...
It's really hard to digest though, like...
It is. It's really hard to accept because you're like, oh, this is my best friend and, you know, we're going to be best friends forever and all that stuff, which is totally understandable, but that's why it's really important to trust God. And if you have God-centered friendships, you're going to be okay because God's going to be the one to bring people in and out of your life. So that would be my first response to that. Just know that friendships are for a season, and if someone's moved away or their schedule is just crazy and they just really don't have the time to prioritize you, because you know everyone has the same amount of time, so there's no such thing about, oh, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that.
Ma'am. Can you repeat that for the people in the back? Because I don't think they heard you.
There's no such thing as I don't have enough time.
Don't I have a video called that?
I think it is.
Yeah, I think no, seriously. Actually recently happened to me. So basically the person was only hitting me up to tell me stuff about themselves. Like, it wasn't a two-way friendship. And I was just like, I feel like I'm being used. And mind you, this is a person I've grown up with. Like, we've been friends forever. Like, my fam legit acts for their fam all the time. So I had a conversation with them. I was just like, I'm gonna let you know how I feel. An honest conversation. I'd be like, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is how I feel. I feel like you don't know anything that's going on in my life. You just call me to tell me what's going on in yours. And very like, oh, I'm gonna use Kim type stuff. So I said that, and then the way that they received it was just so weird. Like, oh yeah, if you feel like that, I don't think I can change it. Just block me. And I was just like, what? You completely did not hear what I said. Like, they told me to block them after I told them how I felt, but like I had to accept it. Like, just like how Pauline was saying, friendships are for seasons, and even if that season was really long beforehand, hey, maybe it's ending right now. It's hard to digest. I don't have no formula to answer that question. Seriously, it's really hard to digest. But in order for me to grow in life, I had to have that conversation because it was really bugging me.
Nothing happens suddenly.
Yeah.
God moves suddenly because he's God. But you know, people don't really make sudden decisions. So like with Kimberly's example with her friend, you know, going back, like, can you think of times when you know, you kind of saw hints of like her kind of being distant?
I never thought
she would just respond that boldly.
Yeah, because we had years of friendship, so.
Right, and never let years or time hold you bondage to a friendship or to a relationship.
Ma'am, because I was just about to say that. You better let go, let God.
So before we go further into this question, we're going to take a quick pause and explain what our idea of what the talking phase really is. Because it was very confusing to me, and I can imagine it's confusing to many of you guys. It means different things.
I'm still learning it, you guys.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So my opinion from what I see, and what the talking...
It's really good. Her
Thank you, Kim. What the talking phase is, and the best way I can explain it is to give you guys a quick analogy. So the talking phase is that same time period when you are pre-boarding a plane. When you pre-boarded a plane, you've already bought your ticket, you've done the research about where you're going, the destination, the arrival times, you've made all of your plans, you're just waiting to actually get on the plane. Talking is the same thing. You've already done your research on this person, you know what they're about, you know what they believe, you know where they're trying to go in life in general. And you like them. You've made it. You made a decision.
You guys both know it.
Yes, in your head, like, hey, I like this person and I want to see where this can go. But that talking period is kind of, let's figure out the logistics, the details of what this is gonna look like before we make a commitment. Basically, reviewing the contract before you sign. Not that dating is a binding contract, because it's definitely not. And it's definitely nothing close. I'm glad you know marriage. But I'm just saying, you're reviewing about, hey, but a dating relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, that is a commitment.
Serious.
It's a commitment. That's saying like, I really want to see what it would be like. You know, if we were to explore marriage, what would that be like? We're dating with purpose.
So can you, okay, say for example, you just meet a guy at Starbucks and you guys are interested with each other. And you guys just exchange numbers and you start talking to each other. I thought it was talking. So how is that not talking from your viewpoint?
Okay, from my viewpoint, that situation, you are not interested in that person. You think they're attractive because that's all you know about them.
That's good.
All you did was you saw their face and maybe some other part of their body.
Shoulders.
Exactly, and you was like, I want some of that. Yeah. But if you are trying to have a God-centered relationship, you care way more about that person's character than you do about what they look like.
You have to remember that this is not your boyfriend. You have to always keep that in your mind. I'm the type of person that like, if I'm down for you, I am crazy.
Girl.
I'm crazy for you. Like,
go hard or go home.
I'm really committed. Like, I really give my all to the point where Pauline and my good friend Sam, they were like, yeah, Kim, like, you need to just like have a barrier before like letting everything go. And like the last time I talked to a guy, we were literally, I just met him and it was just a month and we were on the phone. And it wasn't even that late, but it was like 10 p.m. Blah, blah, blah. I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get off the phone. Mind you, I just met him. It's been a month. And he called me.
That's what she's trying to say.
Yeah, and then he called me a pet name. And he was like, I'll call you later, boo boo. And he just said it in some way that just, it did one. It did my head though. And I was like, okay. Bye, boo boo. And ever since then, I was calling him pet names. Mind you, this is just a talking phase, bruh. You're not even my boyfriend, bruh. Like, I don't even fully know you yet, bruh. And I was already I was already calling him pet names, and I was already, you know, making up dreams. And you know how girls think, okay, so this is how we're gonna look like in our next Instagram pictures. And put everything together. I was already thinking all of that, and like, fast forward the story, it didn't work out. It didn't even work out to go up to the dating phase. And I was already calling him pet names. So you have to remember that this is not your boyfriend. That you guys are literally just at a place where you're waiting to board the plane and like have boundaries there. Cause like for me to open myself, and I said some things I didn't need to say, some personal stuff. For me to open myself up like that, it hurt me when it didn't work out. Like it really did hurt me. And I feel like I could have avoided that if I were to set boundaries beforehand.
Give an example of one way to prevent that from happening is making sure that you are not trying to research and also, you know, attach yourself to the person and make decisions at the same time.
It's hard, bro.
Just like y'all know when you were growing up, I know, you know, we used to find garden snakes and all these types of animals in the yard, and my parents didn't let us have pets. So we would call those.
What?
We would call those.
Not me. I don't know what
I'm talking about me and my brother.
Okay, you by yourself, because I don't know what you
Anyway, so you would call things pets, you know, and once you give it a name, you get attached to it.
Wow. She be saying some good stuff.
She let me finish, bro. She never let me finish. But
go ahead.
so that was the problem in situations like Kimberly's, when you start getting attached to people before you know what it is. Really earlier, it's really hard to try to set your GPS up while you're driving at the same time. You need to get your GPS figured out and get that joint set up before you put the key in the ignition and get into the drive mode. It's really dangerous for you to try to figure out where you're going while you're going there. So please apply that when you're thinking about dating and thinking about talking with people, you know, before you make any type of commitment, or before you say, hey, I want to be with you, or I want to see what that would look like. Figure out where they're going. First of all, figure out where you're going, and then figure out where they're going, and if you guys are going to the same place at the same pace.
And really be honest with yourself when you figure out where they're going. Like, don't lower down your standards when you see, like, of course no one is perfect. Of course, like, nobody's perfect, but like, if you know this is a non-negotiable on your list that you have on your phone for your soon-to-be husband, you know that you should not be talking to that person, right? Like, don't lower your standards because they don't meet the list. They don't meet the list, and they're not yours. Like, you got to keep that.
God has someone for you.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about purity. And a lot of times people hear purity in dating, they think about
sex.
Right, thank you, Kim. Sex. Physical attraction, physical interaction.
Yeah.
Do we kiss? Do we not? How much do we kiss? Is there tongue? I don't know. So that whole thing kind of comes up. But I think what's most important to remember is that purity does not start in the physical. It actually starts in the spiritual, moves to the emotional, and then the physical. Just like think about the way that you worship God. If you worship God and you're a Christian, it's out of the overflow of your heart. So if you're raising your hands in worship and you're clapping your hands and you're singing out loud to the Lord, it's because that's what's going on inside of you. Same thing happens in your relationships with, you know, anybody, with Kim. If Kim is my friend and I love her, you know, when her birthday comes around, or if I want to just give her a gift, just like Kim got me a gift randomly the other day, it's out of the overflow of her heart. And the same thing happens in a romantic relationship. So if you find yourself struggling with physical boundaries or physical, basically, respect of somebody else's body that doesn't belong to you because you're not married to them, that's something that's going on in your heart. So, you know, the question, I love the way this person answered the question, or worded the question, which says, how do you maintain purity? That means that you already have it. That means that you already have pure intentions to this person, that if you're going out on a date with them, it's literally just to get to know them better and to spend some quality time with them. Not because you want to get in their pants, or not because you hope that they kiss you, or whatever it is. You're going on a date with them, you're spending time with them, you're dating, and you're in this relationship because you want to get to know them better. Thinking about boundaries or lines on the road where you drive, right? Those boundaries are there to keep you safe, and they're also there to get you to where you're trying to go. You follow the road and you're going to get to, you know, your destination, and also they're going to protect you from the other cars around you. And that's one thing that you have to remember when you're dating. There's rules and there's boundaries to protect you. So if you're with somebody, or you are somebody who's always trying to break boundaries and, you know, kind of break the rules.
And they're a guy, they're supposed to be a leader.
Yeah, but even and let me get on the girls really quick, because as a woman, as a wife, you're called to submit to your husband, but right now you're the wife of Christ and you're called to submit to him. So if you have a hard time following God's boundaries, you're gonna have a much harder time following, you know, the boundaries of your one day husband.
Don't think that because somebody has this boundary, that means yours is set in stone. Because even like during my talking phase, like it's like I took somebody else's like stuff that they were using, and I said, okay, this is gonna work for me. I don't care what you have to say. This is what I'm gonna do. Like it's different for every relationship, you know. So keep that in mind. Right,
and also keep in mind too, like, you know, one thing that my boyfriend and I did when we first got together, when we first decided to be in a committed relationship, is we did establish our boundaries, but we talk about them often.
Yeah, communicate.
Every single month. Hey, how are we doing? We said we were gonna do this. Are we actually doing
Sticking
it?
to it.
Hey, yeah, we've been doing it, but this isn't gonna work for me anymore because when you touch me like that, it makes me feel like this. Or because you're not touching me, I don't feel close to you.
But I think it's really big to communicate, though. You guys literally have to be on the same page, because like if you're not communicating and you don't tell me that this is what makes me feel some type of way, you're gonna be like, the other person's gonna be like, what? I don't even know. I'm just being me. I'm just doing me. So communication is just really, I mean, in any relationship, romantic, friendship, whatever, anything, you have to communicate and let that person know how you feel and what makes you feel a certain way. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How's your day?
You know, it was good. You know, I'm staying busy over here. You know, I got these projects I'm working on, but they're really moving. How you doing? How's your day?
I'm good. I just feel kind of off about some things going on between us.
Oh, for real? What's going on?
I just feel like I don't know where things are going right now. You feel like that?
What do you mean?
I don't want to say this, but like, you know, like, you just talk on the phone, like, we haven't really went out, you know, on a date at all.
Oh, so you want me to take you out on a date?
Yeah, I mean, it's been like 6 months.
Oh yeah, you know, I'm really feeling you. 6 months, yeah. That's awesome.
So, how do you...
No, I'm actually glad you asked me this, because I've been thinking, 6 months, that's really strong. And I was like, yeah, I really like this girl. And
I like you a lot too.
Yeah, and we talked about that. We talked about that, and I told you how, my big plan and how I'm trying to get this off the ground, and I'm really working on this project. I'm trying to switch jobs, just putting myself in a better position, and I'm working on that. Things are happening. God is moving, and I'm just really happy about that. And I'm happy, that I like you and that you like me. The connection we have.
I know. I'm just, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a good 6 months that we've been talking on the phone.
Right. Yeah. That's been great. And
like chatting on Facebook.
I don't want to mess that up. We're not trying to make too many changes at once.
Yeah. You're totally right. Just forgive me for even bringing this up. What was wrong with the guy said? I feel like what was wrong with the guy said, it was just empty promises. He was just saying, yeah, consider that. Not making actual plans after she kept on saying, when are you free? Just telling her she's really special. It's just saying stuff and no actions are following. That's basically what he was doing. And just feeding that girl with like, this stuff like, okay, you're so special to me, da, da, da. But if she was really special to you, you would actually make the time to spend with her and make things moving. So that's like the biggest thing with the guy, which was played by Pauline I. So the guy.
I didn't get right. Give me my Andy. I'm ready. So with the girl, biggest thing with what she did was the retraction. So taking back her, kind of the whole purpose of the conversation, just asking him like, hey, what's going on? As a woman, there's nothing wrong with you making your expectations clear
and staying to them.
And staying, keeping the bar, setting the bar high and keeping it high. And we mean realistic. So there's nothing wrong with, Kimberly calling the guy and saying, hey, it's been 6 months, what's going on? And if he gives you some type of runaround saying, okay, cool, you're busy, I get that, I'm busy, but I'm making you a priority, I need you to do the same thing for me. Let him know the priority and let him know what the expectations are, saying, hey, for me, for the person that I'm going to date or the type of dating relationship I want to be in looks like this.
How do you want to be pursued? Like, that's one thing Pauline always asks me, what do you want? Is this what you want? Yeah. She literally always asks me that. And when you think about it in that case, it helps.
Right.
Hello?
Hey Kim, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Coming to the end of the week. I'm just working on that big project that I was talking about.
Yeah,
just wanted to call and see what your weekend's looking like.
Oh, my weekend? I'm pretty much free all day tomorrow.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I actually was hoping that tomorrow would be a good day for you. I know that we've been getting to know each other for a couple of weeks now, and you really seem great. It's just really been an honor to, talk to you a little bit more outside of, our friend group and just talk to you a little bit more one-on-one. And I would love to spend some quality time with you tomorrow night, and it would be my honor if you'd let me take you on a date.
Oh wow, I love that actually.
Wow, that's great. I'm so glad to hear that. I know I was talking to you about this project that I was working on, but the project was actually the date that I had planned. So I have this great night planned for us, and I heard you like ice skating, was able to talk to some of your friends earlier this week.
Talk to my friends?
Yeah, I had to get to know exactly what you like. I didn't want to get it wrong. Come by your house tomorrow, pick you up at 8 o'clock. I'd be sure to have you home before curfew.
If someone were to be that intentional about like finding out what I like about what I like before taking me out, oh my gosh, I literally would be speechless like I was. Like, yeah.
It wasn't acting, was it?
No, I was actually
I was pretty good. That was it. It's on myself,
girl.
Yeah, awesome. I loved how, like you said, how intentional the guy was for the girl. I think what's really important to mention from that role play that we just did is what's not happening. Obviously, the girl, she didn't really say a lot, but just like, thank you, and I'm just excited, like, yes, I'm
She didn't have to do no work.
So she needs to know what time she needs to be ready. And you just want to pay attention to how she's feeling. Like, you want to feel like you're being pursued. What you have to remember is dating relationships and are leading to marriage. And marriage is done God's way, is a reflection of God's relationship with his bride, the church. And God died for his church. He sent his son Jesus to mend that relationship so that he could be close to us. And that was a big sacrifice. And like, what you want is a man who knows that for himself and realizes that he's supposed to pursue you relentlessly, because that's how God pursues his church. And if you're not being pursued relentlessly, then he's not it.
That's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I know relationships is just a really hot and spicy topic that everybody wants to talk about. So stating that, I know it's a lot of stuff to cover, but we actually experienced a great series at our church. It's called Don't Get Married Until.
Yes.
And I'm going to actually link it in the description box below. My pastor, Pastor Steven Chandler, he covered a lot of topics about relationships that you would love. So definitely tune in. And Pauline, you wanted to add something?
So we're going to also link below a book that just gives great insight on dating and boundaries and all that stuff.
It's called, you're currently reading, right?
Yes, I'm currently reading the book. It's amazing. It's been such a blessing. It's called Boundaries in Dating. So definitely check that out if you are a reader.
But thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment, share. Comment. Yeah, leave your comments if you have any other questions. And you can also write down anything that's worked for you in your friendships or relationships that you would like other people to know. So thank you all. Pauline, do you have anything to say as closing words?
Definitely share this video, guys. It's really good stuff in here. A lot of people do not know how to date as a Christian. I know,
it's really real.
Yes, I know that I didn't. I'm still learning being in a dating relationship now, but it's literally helped me so much, and that's why I was so excited to come on here and just talk with you guys. So please share it, leave questions, comments, concerns. Feel free to reach out if you guys need further resources. We have videos and sermons and just connections for dates to help you guys. But we really want you guys to have a healthy dating relationship. So definitely just get hungry.
The second biggest decision you can make in life, first to follow Christ, second is who you're going to get married to. So think about it like that.
Definitely.
So thank you all again. I keep saying thank you, but that's the last time I'm going to say thank you. Bye. Peace and blessings.